Cigar Company is your one-stop shop for all your cigar needs. Whether that's a brand new humidor, a box of those new cigars you've been waiting for, a top-of-the-line cutter or lighter, a place to enjoy the finest cigars and spirits with friends, or the only cigars grown right here in the Sunshine State, we've got you covered. Come visit one of our retail locations for the ultimate cigar experience. Visit us online at coronacigar.com.
How about that cigar?
How about that cigar?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Corona Cigar Studios for episode 243 of How About That Cigar Live. Thank you so much for joining us live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and those of you listening after the fact on the audio podcast. Guys, thank you so much for making How About That Cigar a part of your regular audio podcast rotation. So grateful for you guys spending your Monday evening with us.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there, keeping my head above water, as they say.
It seems like it's been months since we've seen each other.
Yeah, we only skipped 1 week, but it does feel like it's been a month since we've done a show. I got to be honest, I missed you guys. I don't like those long breaks.
Do you feel like we're missing a third leg?
I think we're missing the most important part of the team right now.
Cigar?
And that no, we got cigars. But
Justy,
it's our illustrious producer.
What? Where is he? Is he here today?
You guys talking about me?
I think so.
I think we're talking about me?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Hey, Tony, get this guy a beer. I get going.
Put him in the bathroom.
Throw some cement boots on him. Throw him in the river or something, okay?
All right, so
let's talk.
The
sports.
NFL draft is done. How did your team do?
My Jets did what they were supposed to. They got a lineman.
Okay. My Packers did what they were supposed to do. They got defensive backs, offensive line, and linebackers. So I'm happy about that.
Out of the neutral team,
the Vikings. Vikings got one of the best quarterbacks in the draft, JJ McCarthy.
And they had one of the best defensive ends.
Yeah.
Right? Or is it a defensive lineman?
I think Vikings
like that. Who's checking it?
Some defensive somebody.
Yeah.
Or something. If anybody knows, put it in the comments. And speaking of comments, join us in the comments. Let us know what you're smoking and drinking, as always. Sports. Twins. So 2 weeks. We haven't had a show for 2 weeks. And for a few weeks we were saying how much the Twins were terrible. And then the Minnesota Twins went on a 12-game winning streak.
What?
A 12 got but here's the
there's always an
asterisk with the Twins.
There just can't be that and just what is
they
it?
played the White Sox 10 times.
So the Twins went on a 12-game winning streak, and that was against the White Sox, one of the worst teams in baseball, followed by the Angels, the worst team in baseball, followed again by the White Sox, one of the worst teams. So basically we won 12 games against the two worst teams in baseball. Yep. So is it cool to win 12 games in a row? Yes, because any sport winning 12 games in a row is very, very difficult, and especially in baseball.
So who they lose or have their streak get beat by?
The Red Sox.
Oh,
so
the best
you couldn't even help me out.
No, the Red Sox we're pretty evenly matched with the Red Sox.
You couldn't help me out.
We won 2 out of the first. Oh, what about your Yankees?
My Yankees are second place.
Well, the Twins moved all the way up. Twins were second to last place, and now we're second place.
Okay.
Judge can't find his bat if it was sticking it out of his pocket.
Yeah, Judge is in a bad slump. Really bad slump.
I'd rather have it early than late.
But
that's what she said.
Real quick.
Yeah.
David Floyd.
Seen
him. We got him his package for being Mr. Numero de los Muertos guy.
Loyal viewer, David
Tell
Floyd.
your wonderful wife I said hi. She's the best part of you.
Yes. So really great news in the world of Minnesota sports. The Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are killing it. So they made it to the playoffs.
Whoa.
They destroyed the Suns.
Swept them
in the first round. Now, I did a lot of looking.
Yeah.
I did a lot of research on this. As far as I could find, this is the first time in history that a professional Minnesota sports team swept a multi-game playoff series ever.
And you didn't think they had a chance, Matt.
I mean, then they go to Denver.
It's a Denver game.
The Nuggets, and I was like, okay, the Nuggets, they beat them in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
And they won game 1. And game 2 is coming up in about 20 minutes. It's the start of game 2.
They're on fire.
So they have a chance. Anthony Edwards.
The Ant-Man is the shit.
He's ridiculous.
Is that new kid?
The new, yeah,
That's
22 years old.
The next LeBron or
Absolute
Jordan?
No,
phenom.
whoa.
Okay.
No, not
He can't talk sports no more.
not
Okay.
not the next LeBron. The
Okay.
next Jordan.
Next Jordan.
Yeah,
Jordan.
If he was
MJ.
if he was the next
Okay.
LeBron, he'd spend all his time whining and
flopping
flopping
like
and
fucking fish.
Well, I got one of them right, so I'm 50%.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's go.
so yeah, that's a really bright spot with Minnesota sports. Hopefully they can win, because if they can win game 2 and come back and win games 3 and 4 in Minnesota and not only have another sweep, but have that win
I'm greedy. I want the sweep.
to win that final that 4th game in Minnesota, that would be pretty awesome.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's definitely a
And
chance.
honestly, out of the West, I think whichever team wins between us and Denver is going to the championship game.
I agree because when you look at Dallas and who's the other team from the West, my brain's a little fried, but then you make it to the finals, most likely it's going to be the Celtics, and the Celtics are, oh my gosh, the Celtics are way good.
Whoa. The Knickerbockers they're going to give them a run for the money.
Yeah, sure they will.
So listen, what are you drinking?
Well, that's
you
just
drinking?
it. That's just it. We don't know what I'm drinking because this is this
Spirit?
evening's Spirit of Mystery. Now tell me, just don't tell our viewers rather what this beverage is all about.
It is a tequila, and it looks pretty pissy. Looks pretty light.
It's a looks like a reposado tequila.
And reposado, then the A word too.
Añejo.
Añejo.
Yeah.
And who's the Spirit of Mystery sponsored by?
So the Spirit of Mystery is sponsored by our friends at Postania Cigars. Do you find yourself unsatisfied with the top 10 list from How About That Cigar? Are you wondering how cigars from Postania didn't make the HBTC list, but found their way onto other lists? Fortunately, you can be reminded every week with this Postania Cigars advertisement. Postania Cigars, the #1 unranked cigar in the industry. All right, so tequila. It's Cinco de Mayo. It's the month of May. Cinco de Mayo was yesterday. I'm not so we discussed this a little before the show. I'm not a big tequila drinker. My experience of drinking tequila straight is like back in college, doing shots of Jose Cuervo. So just sipping on a really high quality tequila is something I really don't have experience with.
Well, welcome to tequila.
So the aroma, it's citrusy, and kind of earthy, kind of funky, but not in a bad way. I mean, it's like tequila has an unmistakable aroma to it. It's just like that agave sweetness and little citrus, a little funk. Here's a little taste. Here we go.
So back when I used to drink 20-something years ago, tequila was my drink of choice.
Hey, that's really nice.
What were you drinking? Like Padron or Don Julio 1942?
When I used to go to Jimmy's, they put the Jose there, spin the cap, and leave it.
They leave the bottle.
1800.
Yikes!
Woo! No, Patron was a.
Honestly, this tequila is really nice. It's got a nice sweetness to it. It doesn't taste like it's high proof. It tastes like around that average 80 proof. But it's got nice sweetness to it. There's not a lot of bite or harshness or anything like that.
So when I went and picked up the 4 bottles for you to try this month,
sorry,
I asked them all for sipping ones. Sipping, not mixing, sitting back and sipping. And
nice.
Average price was somewhere between $40 and $60.
Okay, nice. Well, I'm gonna keep taking a little taste of this throughout the show. We'll reveal what the Spirit of Mystery is later on. So stay tuned for that. But you know what, guys? I
think we have a show tonight.
We have a show tonight, and what a show we have, guys. What an awesome special guest.
Hollywood star.
We're insanely excited about this one. So, as you guys know, on How About That Cigar Live, special guests brought to us by Drew Estate. Following the resounding success of Blackened Cigars M81 Maduro, Drew Estate announced the new Blackened S84 Shade to Black. Wrapped in a luxurious Connecticut Ecuador cover leaf, the experience of this expression is distinctly different from the original M81 Maduro, while still retaining its foundational qualities due to the Connecticut broadleaf Maduro binder, and finally filler leaves from Pennsylvania and Nicaragua. presented in elegantly designed 20-count boxes. Blackened S84 Shade to Black by Drew Estate is available in Robusto, Toro, Corona Doble, and Corona. For more information, please visit drewestate.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you would, please put your hands together. Help us out. Welcome to episode 234 of How About That Cigar Live. Geno Segers. Brother, welcome to the show.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Wonderful.
We are fantastic, brother. It is great to have you on with us.
No, that's great, bro. It's great to be here.
Yeah.
Great to be here. Really excited, man. It's my first cigar sort of interview.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, very first. Very first.
We're happy to pop that cherry.
Oh, yeah.
So let everybody out there, let our viewers and listeners know what you're smoking and drinking this evening.
Oh, well, I was drinking some LMNT electrolytes, and I'm smoking the underrated cigar, Ron Harper's collab with Luciano. So really excited about this cigar. It's a great cigar. I got my box signed by Ron Harper and got a chance to meet him. It was really cool.
Nice.
Really cool. Yeah.
What are you smoking, Jesse?
I am smoking, let's see, the Undercrown 10 tonight. Just grab something real quick on my way out the doors. Don't know what I grabbed, but
That's a good cigar. Good cigar.
Yeah.
And I am smoking Surrounded by Champions.
Oh, dude. Oh, there we go.
I like we got a camera over here.
Oh,
for a
that's
reason.
right. I always forget.
See, look at that beautiful thing. One of our sponsor cigars.
I love that color. That color that they put on this year's just pops right off
A
the.
hell of a good cigar too.
Yeah, it's really.
That wrap was glistening a little bit, man. I'm a little bit jealous.
Oh yeah, it's good.
And I'm going to fire up another Postania cigar, the Postania Broadleaf in the Corona Gorda size, thanks to Raul. I'm going to fire that up right now on the Cigar Toast Cam. Cigar is the leading accessory brand with innovative butane lighters, precision cutting instruments, travel cases, and humidors. Each product is designed and manufactured with the utmost precision and attention to detail. The result is a range of products that exude quality and refinement, reflecting the brand's dedication to excellence. For more information, please visit Cigar.com. There we go. I think that's the fastest I ever did that read.
Yeah,
because
you caught me off guard there. I'm like, whoa, where'd we go? 0 to 100.
Well, honestly, I wanted to get through that read quick because Geno's on the show and I want to talk to Geno. I don't want to do ad reads. I want to talk to Geno.
We don't want to pay the bills.
Oh, man. That's a big pedestal you'd be putting on there, Geno.
I know, man. I'm telling you, man, it's called business show for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Show. Ain't no show without business, man.
Gotta keep those bills paid.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Geno, we usually have our guests go back and tell us how they got into cigars and what's your daily smoke and all that kind of fun stuff.
Well, to be honest with you, my last name being Segers, I would get teased about my last name, Geno Segers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And so at certain family reunions, my older uncles would pass a little cigar around for all the kids and tell us to spit on all those people that talk junk about your name. So they can put, and so I mean, even as a little kid, I was puffing on a cigar, reluctantly puffing on a cigar. But I do a lot of different things for health reasons, right? And so I was talking to some friends of mine in LA, and they were suggesting that I try, vegetarian on the way to veganism. So I went straight vegan, like I'm a 2 feet kind of guy. I don't jump in and dip my toe. I jump in with both feet, right? So from one day to the next, I went complete vegan, just cold turkey, stopped eating meat, stopped eating all animal products, right? And I think that change in my diet sort of gave me a heightened sense of taste.
Okay.
Right. And I was walking down Ventura, and I said to the guy, I said, I smelt this smell, and like I was telling my buddy, I was like, man, what is that smell? He was like, man, I don't know. It stinks. I was like, no, you don't smell that? And he's like, no, what are you talking about? So I walked into this place and I said, hey, man, what is that smell? He says, cigars? It's like, bro, you got to give me one, bro. You got to give me one. So he's like, well, what do you like to smoke? I said, man, I don't know. Yeah. And he's like, well, try this. And he gave me a Macanudo vintage 97 vintage.
Yeah.
With the little brass ring.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Man, I took that thing home and I'm like, okay, I don't like smoke. I don't like smoking, and I don't really know what I'm doing. So first thing you do when you don't know what you're doing, you Google it, right?
That's right.
So I Googled it, and all these cigar people came up, you know? So I just did cigars for beginners. And boom, the guy says, okay, this is what you do. This is how you cut it. This is how you light it. You don't want to inhale it. You want to. So he gave me all the little steps, right? I was like, okay, cool. Got it. Don't inhale. This is how you light. This is how you cut. So I went on the balcony. My wife thought I was crazy. Went on the balcony, cut this Macanudo. I left the brass ring on. I didn't know that you were supposed to take it off. And I didn't know you could Google or that you could search on YouTube reviews on the actual cigar. I didn't even know you could do it. I didn't know there was a thing. So I left the brass ring on and smoked it all the way down with the brass ring on it, right? But the first draw on that cigar, man, it was like all these cocoa and coffee and chocolate and earth and clay and all this stuff I was tasting all this stuff, and I was like, am I supposed to be tasting all of this? You know what I mean? And I recognize it immediately because I've had dirt in my mouth before. I recognize it because I've had chocolate in my mouth before.
Mm-hmm.
I've had, coffee. I got all those flavors from that Macanudo, which I don't know. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was enjoying the experience. And then it got really cold in LA. Don't let people fool you. At night in LA, it gets really cold, right?
No, hold on. What do you consider cold?
Bro, I mean, well, I've been in LA for 10 years. So it was like 65, 55, but like desert 55. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you go from in the day, you go from 72, 73, and in 2 hours, you're down to 68 or 58. That's frigid, bro. Mark Twain said it the best, right? Mark Twain said that the coldest winter he ever spent was a summer in San Francisco. Now, the best way to explain that is to go to San Francisco during the summer.
Yeah.
Because you'll be sweating when you get on the bus at 6 o'clock. When you get off the bus, you're going to be still wet. And it's going to be 65 degrees. And you're going to be freezing, bro. You're going to be freezing. It's a different kind of freezing. You know what I mean? LA is the same way. So when I was out there on that porch freezing like this, trying to smoke a cigar, I said, nah, I got to find a place to smoke a cigar. So I Googled lounges and found there was one right on Ventura Boulevard. Went off to Ventura Boulevard, sat down in the lounge and started puffing away on a cigar and really started understanding what I liked, what my go-to cigars were. For a long time, LFD was my go-to cigar. I liked the medium to full, profiles that they offered. The Chiselito Chapter 1, Chapter 2. I love those cigars, and I would smoke those regularly, man. People were like, "That's your go-to?" Yeah, dude, I really like the LFD, you know. And then even the Digger, I love the Digger, man. Take your time.
Yeah.
Take your time. You know, don't rush the Digger. So I really enjoyed the Digger. And but then I started experimenting with different cigars and really getting into Arturo Fuente and really experimenting with just trying different ones, you know, Ashton, sun grown, broadleaf, Oliva, Melania. Really like the Melania. I think the Melania is kind of, it can be a little overrated sometimes. I mean, Oliva can be a little overrated to me, but my favorite, to be quite honest, is the G series. I love the G.
Oh, I love those.
The Oliva G. That's the best. That's to me is as good as the Melania to me.
I think it's still their best cigar. The Oliva G Robusto size, I think, is still their best cigar.
It's hard to beat, bro. Right? Yeah. It's almost like I'm smoking a Lancero in terms of flavor.
Ooh. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's right there with really good Lanceros. So I really started experimenting around, and then I started getting into Undercrown and Liga, and I'm just, man, it was just as for an everyday stick, it's a great price point. Really good cigars. And then if you want to step it up a little bit and go more celebratory, you can get up into, a more expensive price point and really have a good cigar, really great cigar, man. And in my humble opinion, and I've been around the world, everywhere I go, my wife, who hates cigars, will look up the closest cigar lounge to my hotel or the place where I can buy cigars. She's very supportive of the things that I like. But I smoke cigars all over the world, man. And I got to say, the best domestic market in the world is right here in America.
Yeah.
Best domestic market. I mean, okay, you got Cubans everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you might have a Davidoff. Maybe you'll have I don't know, Oliva.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But that's it. That's it. And then the rest is Cuban.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you guys had a Cuban lately. It's really
overrated.
Overrated.
Yeah.
Just okay, man. I mean, they're really okay. I mean, they got their own flavor. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's very light, very just sweet. You might think you're smoking a deadwood. You know what I mean? You might think you're smoking a bottom bed, man. It's sweet. It's just light.
Yeah.
And that Habano wrapper is just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, you can drink a coffee with it real easy.
Yeah, they don't do a lot for us Cuban cigars.
No, dude, they don't.
It's not cigar. It's not a cigar we reach for on any kind of regular basis at all.
Is there a boutique cigar that sticks out to you?
Boutique.
Oh yeah.
Tabernacle.
Oh yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
That David and Goliath.
Mm-hmm.
That David and Goliath. I wouldn't call them a boutique cigar though.
They're right on. We've had a conversation. They're right in that, just above boutique, but not mainstream yet. A
lot of people know about them, but yeah, man. I got a buddy named Leif who does a thing called does a line called Cuban Seed. That's pretty good too, because his Cuban Seed has a lot more. They're a lot more robust and a lot more flavorful.
Yeah.
So he tries to blend the cigars like you would get like a Monte Cristo number 2. He was trying to blend it close using Cuban seeds to grow the tobacco, but I don't know. It's something about the blend that gives it a little more kick.
Yeah.
So if there was a boutique cigar, I would say that Leif that would be the one. And he only sells them in bundles, so you wouldn't even have a brand name or anything like that. He just sells them in bundles, and they're called Cuban Seed.
Well, one of the things I want Raul to talk about is the story of how we met you, Geno, and then kind of lead that into for any viewers who've been living under a rock, who aren't familiar with your work, Geno, talk a little bit about your career. So Raul, jump in.
So we're at a cigar event in Vegas. What the hell was the name of the place?
Smoke.
Smoke. SMOK.
So we're all sitting around talking, and then
was this before or after Regrettos?
It was before, thank God.
Okay, good, because we would have been,
So I think he's coming out of the humidor, and I see him. I'm like, and then he kind of smiles at me and he shakes his head no, and then I'm like, yeah, you are, and then he speaks, and then he was like, you can't miss that voice. You can't miss that voice. So I was a little starstruck, and then he kind of laughs and blah blah blah, and we introduce ourselves, and then afterwards we kind of scoot over by him and start talking about him and talking to him, not about him. And it was a blast talking to you. And I'm like, we got to get you on the show.
Oh yeah. I mean, we probably sat there for what, an hour at least, maybe 2, just talking about life and cigars. And
he broke down the islands, the Caribbean islands, and where the natives came from, and my whole stuff. I didn't know about Puerto Rico. I'm like, shit, I'm a bad Puerto Rican.
So
you're in Minnesota now, baby. You're in Minnesota.
I know I've been white nice, but that's a different story.
Yeah, you were talking a little bit ago about cold, Geno. Yeah, don't talk to us about cold. You want to smoke a cigar in January when it's -20?
Hell yeah, in the garage I do.
Oh my God, no, bro. I would need open flame, bro.
Yeah.
Open flames pouring on at me with big fans behind it.
So, Geno, tell us about your first role, and how you got into business. Yeah.
How'd you get in the movie business back in the day? Like, where'd that all start at? And give us a little history. What you been in, man? I heard you went on a couple good shows.
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't study acting in college. I didn't study any type of art in college. I majored in engineering, and I gravitated to fluid systems and would design piping systems, pressure systems, gravity fed systems, all types of transferring of fluids, everything from water to peanut butter. And what happened was I got to the end of my football career and thought, man, I'm still really in really good shape. I want to do something with sports, And I was filling out my applications. I got my degree, filling out my applications, and I saw on ESPN in the background that this rugby league tryouts were being held in Lake Placid, New York. So I go to Lake Placid, New York, try out, make the team, go to Sydney, Australia, make a team in Auckland, New Zealand, get picked up by a team in Auckland, New Zealand, go to Auckland, New Zealand, end up getting married in New Zealand years later, living in New Zealand, playing rugby league, getting into full contact wrestling, also doing some cliff diving, then doing some sumo wrestling and doing all different types of sports, right? I was a sports addict. And got to the point where I couldn't play sports anymore because I was just getting too old, And I started buying and selling small businesses and buying shares and moving in and helping turn the business around and then selling back. And then I started, doing this security business because I would help put a lot of guys to work that were rugby players, big guys, and they were really kind of sort of shy. They're not, they're not like I won't say they're not assertive, but off the rugby field they're a little bit reserved.
Gentle giants.
Very reserved, very humble in New Zealand. Very humble people in New Zealand, man. And so I wasn't very humble at all. I would go and ask for the deal and ask for the money if they need. Look, you need to pay me so that I can pay my crew and all this sort of stuff. So I sort of got into the security business. And one of my bouncers said to me, "Man, you got a cool voice, bro. You should do something with your voice, man." I was like, "Yeah, be my manager," And a lot of those guys, every day somebody was saying something about my voice, right? Every day somebody was saying, "Oh, you got a cool voice, eh?" You know, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Be my manager. And I didn't know he had a relative that was in the radio business. And I went down and started doing, radio. The guy said, "Come down, have a read." And I'm reading this copy, terribly. I'm reading and it's like, "If you are tired of partying with the kiddies, come on down to Side Effects on the corner of." He's like, "Oh, bro, you got a really good voice, eh? But you probably need to go get some acting classes, bro." I was like, "But," so he pulled me out of the booth, right?
Yeah.
And he turned on this guy. And I mean, the entire studio walls were vibrating, bro.
Hmm.
And I was like, "Man, who is that dude?" And he laughed at me and said, "That's you, bro."
Wow.
I'm like, that can't be me, bro. Because he turned it on while I was in there talking with him, right? And just my natural delivery was like, I couldn't believe that was me, Because I don't hear myself the way you hear me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I heard it played back. I was like, damn, that dude, who is that dude? Right? And so I was like, nah, man, I don't have time for acting classes. So I told him, teach me how to do these ads and I'll do your ads for free.
Okay.
And he said, okay. So the first ad took like an hour and a half, bro. Line by line. Say it like this. Say it like this. Say it like this. So I'm good at mimicking people, right? So I would do it exactly the way he said to do it. And then I started understanding it. So the next few ads, it took like 45 minutes. A few more ads, I was doing it in 15 minutes. Got to the point where I was doing one take for safety. One take for safety. I was doing 3 ads in 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Then he made the critical mistake of calling me one day and saying, "Oh, Geno, can you come down and have a read, bro? We got some more ads for you, bro." I was like, "Hey, man, I can't make it today, man." "Oh, bro, you got them, man. They're really asking for the American with the deep voice." I'm like, "They're asking for the American with the deep voice?" "Yeah, bro." Now you got to start paying me, bro.
Yeah. That's when you start paying.
Now is, I paid you back more than enough, right?
Yep.
So you got to start paying me now, bro. "Oh, fair enough, bro. Fair enough." And so I really started getting into voiceover. And then that ad, that terrible copy, it went from, "If you're tired of partying with the kiddies, come on down the side of it." It turned into that, right?
Yeah.
I was able to lock in and say, "Oh, this is a party scene. This is a happy scene. This guy's got a lot of energy and he's excited. He wants you to come down and party with them." You know what I mean? And he's selling it to, who is he selling to? Who is the market? You know what I mean? So I started really putting those pieces together. And then I didn't have an agent, right? So I didn't know that the difference between a voiceover agent, a modeling agent, and an acting agent. I just had an agent.
Yeah.
So I went downtown and talked to this agency. I said, "Hey, I'm hoping you guys can give me some representation. I'm the deep voice American on the radio." And they were like, "Oh my God, really?" I was like, "Yeah." So they signed, she wanted me to sign. I was like, "No, we can go deal to deal." She says, "That's fine." So it was a modeling agent. I didn't know that. I didn't know there was a difference, right?
Yeah.
I'm working with this modeling agency who is trying to get into commercials,
Okay.
TV commercials, right?
Yeah.
I was just trying to do the donut of, the donut, coming up next on Disney XD, and then blah, 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 at 8/7 Central on Disney XD, do tags and things like that. I was trying to do that.
Yeah.
But they were wanting me for on camera.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to be on camera. I was just trying to do the voiceover. But she was submitting me for on camera gigs. I booked 3 jobs in 6 months.
Okay.
Unheard of. Unheard of. So the young lady gets headhunted to another company, parallel move, right? So these 2 companies are on the same level. So she gets headhunted from this company, goes to this company. She calls me and says, Geno, I'm moving over to this new company. I want you to come with me. I said, I ain't leaving till I get my last check. Right? So I go in to get my last check. And the ladies there who is taking her place says, you have a beautiful voice. Are you a singer? I was like, no, not really. I sing in the shower with nobody home and in the car with the windows up, but I wouldn't call myself a singer. Says, I think you should go on this audition. I was like, I'm trying to go to the other company with the other girl, right? So I don't want them to know, but I haven't signed anything with them, so I can go anywhere I want to go.
Right.
So I say, maybe another time, because I don't have any lessons, and I don't know how to sing. I can't read music. I don't know any of that stuff. I really think you should go on this call. I said, well, maybe I'll get some lessons, and maybe I'll try. I'll try later. So I get back, and I'm collecting money from one of my bars, and one of the bouncers, the guy that introduced me to his cousin, I say to him, bro, guess you will not believe what this fool tried to do, man. He says, what, man? She tried to get me to go and audition for Walt Disney, bro. I was like, she must be out of her mind, bro. They don't want to hear a guy like me sing. They don't want to hear bass singers, man. And bro, he bet me a meat pie. He bet me a mince and cheese pie that if I go into this audition, they would call me back. I say, man, you out of your mind. So I go into the audition, no appointment, no, they don't know who I am. I just walk in. I crashed this audition, bro.
At this point, did you even have like headshots or anything like that?
I didn't have nothing.
Okay.
I didn't have nothing, bro. I didn't have nobody. They didn't even know who I was. They had no idea who I was, right? I go in and I walk down this hallway and there's a lady sitting at the end of the hallway. I said, hey, how you doing? My name is Geno Segers. I'm here for the audition. She says, well, that doesn't sound like a New Zealand accent. Where are you from? And, I had an automatic response while I was living in New Zealand. My automatic response was, I was born, raised, and educated in North Carolina. I'm from North Carolina, born, raised, and educated, right? That's what I would say to everybody. And she says, well, whatever brought you to New Zealand? I said, well, I came to New Zealand, back in, I told her my story, right? Yeah. I'm sitting there talking to her. And so there's a door on this side and a door on this side. She said, this is the audition room and this is the warm-up room. So you go into the warm-up room and we'll call you when we're ready. I was like, no problem. I go into the warm-up room. There's guys in there doing things that I'd never heard of with their voices, right? They're in there. I'm like, bro, what are y'all doing? The lady said this was the warm-up room. Y'all better start warming up. Damn, what are y'all doing, bro? I'm in there stretching, right? So that's the only warm-up I ever understood, right? I didn't know what the hell they were talking about warm-ups, right? So I'm in there stretching, and the guy goes in and comes back out, and they were all Polynesian, right? So they all thought I was Polynesian. Right. And so so when they go in and come out, they let you know that they're leaving. They'll say, oh, see you after. That means like, see you later or see you after. I was like, dang, that was quick. Another guy goes in and comes out. Oh, after. It's like, dang, that was fast, right? I'm like, so me being the athlete, being competitive, I started timing them, right? 20 seconds, 35 seconds. 44 seconds, 15 seconds, 22 seconds. The longest anyone had been in there was 44 seconds.
Wow.
I was like, man, I know they ain't gonna want to hear me, but I'm gonna beat 44 seconds. Right? So I walk in, they call me, I walk in, beep. Hey, how you doing? I'm here for the audition. My name is Geno Segers. The guy, you know, he's gay. Guy says, well, hello. That doesn't sound like a New Zealand accent. Where are you from? I said, man, I'm from North Carolina, born, raised, and educated. Whatever brought you to New Zealand? Man, I came to New Zealand back in 19, and I'm looking at my watch. Damn, that's 30 seconds. Right? Shit, if I stretch this answer out, I'm going to win, right?
Oh, yeah.
Seconds, right? So I stretched this answer out, long story short. I'm looking at my watch again. I'm in there a minute and a half. I'm like, man, what do you want to do, bro? I've already won. I already beat everybody in here. I know you're not going to want me. So what do you want, man? What do you want me to do? So they got me to sing a song for them, and they got me to sing the first page of the Mufasa song, and I was sang it this way, sang it that way, just singing the first page, right? And then he asked me, can you come back, take the song away, learn the whole song, come back and sing it for me? I was like, sure, I can come back anytime you want. What time tomorrow do you want me to come back? He says, can you come back tonight? I was like, man, I can come back in 15 minutes. He laughed, right? He said, you're going to learn that song in 15 minutes? I was like, no, it'll take me 10 minutes to walk back and forth to the car. I won't leave about a couple of plays. He laughed, right? Well, but what I didn't know was that's a thing. That's really a thing. You know, for people to be able to learn music that quickly is a thing. I thought that people that were singers could do it. I can listen to a melody a couple of times and I got it, right?
Yeah.
But most singers can't do that. Most people can't do that.
Yeah.
It's a form of pitch perfect where I can mimic it really exact, right? So I listened to the guy sing Mufasa a couple of times. I listened to it a third time just to be sure. And I came back, I was there like in 12 or 13 minutes. And he looked at me and says, there's no way you've learned that song. I said, no, I think I got it. So the lady looks at me and the accompanist, she plays the song. I cut right in. I sing it exactly the way the CD played it. But it wasn't exact to the writing because I can't read music.
Yeah.
But I sang it exactly the way the guy sang it on the CD. And she said, the accompanist said, Geno's right. He's absolutely right. That's exactly how he sings it. And Miguel offered me a contract on the spot.
Wow.
And I literally told him, I said, hey man, I need to think about it. He says, what do you mean? Bro, I really just came in here to win a meat pie, bro. I wasn't really trying to get no job. He says, a meat pie? I was trying to win a meat pie, bro. I need to think about this, right? So, an even longer story short, I go to Sydney and I understudied the role for 2 years because I didn't know what I was doing. So I understudied Mufasa. I get offered the job going to Melbourne. I do a statewide, Victoria-wide publicity tour, going to Geelong, Ballarat, all these little towns, doing interviews with everybody. And they're all asking me the same dumb question. How does a rugby player make it from the paddock to the stage, right? I'm like, damn, this question, right? I was so sick of that question. Same question over and over again, right? So I get to the opening night, red carpet event. That was my first experience with a red carpet and wanting to be questions and people asking me questions and really being like a star on the red carpet, bro. It was like a huge thing to me, right?
Yeah.
I never experienced it. It was a star-studded event. Stars came out for the opening in Melbourne, right there at the Regent Theatre. It was spectacular, bro. It was spectacular.
Nice.
I go down the red carpet, go up the stairs. I look over, Thomas Schumacher is laughing and pointing at me. Thomas Schumacher is president of the company, smells like money. If money had a smell, it smelled like Thomas Schumacher, right? So he's laughing and pointing at me, right? And so I was like, okay, Thomas, what's so funny? He says, oh my God, Geno. Did Miguel tell you the story? I was like, no, what story, bro? The story about the first day he met Geno Segers. I was like, no, he didn't tell me, Tom. He said, oh my God, it's so funny. He's told everybody in the office. Can you tell me, Tom? Can you let me in on the secret? He says, well, he was auditioning in Auckland, New Zealand, and no one was suitable nowhere whatsoever. And then he heard this voice in the hall. Not you, not you, not you, not you, not you. Well, hello. I'm like, wait a minute, Thomas. Are you telling me that Miguel was rushing to get to the voice he heard in the hall and I was trying to beat 44 seconds? Why didn't somebody tell me this story, man?
Wow.
I could have told this story to 1,500 news outlets. But
That's a great story. I love it.
Bro, it irritates me every time I think about that. 2 years, nobody told me the story.
Wow.
Oh, man.
So over that period of time, and then not long after that, how did you sort of begin the stage where you were taking on roles in film and television?
So when The Lion King was ending, I decided that I would go to New York instead of going to LA. Because New York, you could do television and film, and you could also do stage and theater, right? Yeah. So, alas, I was right. They don't want bases.
Oh, okay.
They really don't want bases.
Yeah.
There are no leading roles for bases. In fact, Mufasa himself is not a bass. Mufasa is a baritone tenor.
Yeah.
Now, for whatever reason, I was able to skirt myself up to that optional G. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I was able to fake it. And I faked it for 4.5 years. And so every other role that I was auditioning for, I was going to have to sing A flat. I can't even think that high, bro. So the straw that broke the camel's back for me in Broadway was when I went to the South Pacific, Lincoln Center. I went to South Pacific, and I heard a bass that was so flat that the entire audience cringed.
Oh, I hate that.
So I called my agent and told her, I said, hey, you call South Pacific Production and tell them you got a bass that speaks the notes that their bass can't sing.
Mm-hmm.
She says, oh my God, Geno, they really want to know. They want to see you. So I was like, great. Hour later, she calls me back and says, Geno, I sent them your picture and they can't audition you for the role. I was like, what do you mean? That role is a part of the white ensemble.
Oh boy. Wow.
It's 2009. What are you talking about?
Wow.
To the detriment of their product.
Yeah.
I was like, man, F Broadway, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done with Broadway. So I started really locking myself into productions that I knew I fit in, like Little Shop of Horrors. So I did Stages of St. Louis, Little Shop of Horrors. And then I went and got and booked Oklahoma City based on Stages of St. Louis. There was 6 weeks in between those two dates. So I booked and finished St. Louis, Stages of St. Louis, went back to New York, paid my rent for 3 months, flew to New Zealand to visit with my son, put myself on tape for a TV show in LA, flew back to get ready to go to Oklahoma City. And my phone, I had 30 messages. They wanted to know when was I going to be in LA, and that was for Pair of Kings. I ended up booking Pair of Kings and missing out on Little Shop of Horrors in Oklahoma City and never looked back. So that's really how I got into television. All going back to New Zealand to visit my son.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
And then after that, the next role that I booked, I was Mason McCullough in Pair of Kings for 4 years. And then for 2 years, it took me 2 years to book Banshee.
that's what I want to talk about.
Yeah, it took me 2 years to book Banshee. And they didn't want to see me initially. They didn't want a Disney dad playing the role of Chayton Littlestone.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. But then I put something on tape that my manager and I really worked and really sort of locked him in a little bit.
Yeah.
In terms of giving him something that nobody else could give him. You know what I mean? Because there weren't very many guys in the so-called Native American community that spoke in my register, and there weren't very many guys that were big but not fat, muscular but not a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
It really worked. It really worked. And when I came back for third season, I really got in the gym hard and heavy because of the backstory work that we did with Chayton. We felt like he would have fought his way back to Banshee from Louisiana. So when he run out of money, they'd take a fight underground and he would kill somebody. And, so all that fighting, he would get a lot leaner, So I lost I probably lost 30, 40 pounds.
Wow.
From the second season to the third season, just to make it make sense for the character and his backstory. So we did a lot of work, man. Really, Chayton was supposed to get 2 episodes and die and get killed, but they saw something that they really liked. They saw a larger story. They saw a larger story. In fact, I got when they killed Chayton, and then they came out with the last season. I used to get emails all the time about why did they make these Satan worshipers in the 4th season. That should have been the 3rd season, and the 4th season should have been Chayton being killed. The last episode should have been Chayton's death, because it was so rewarding to the fans that Hood got his lick back, that nothing else really mattered. I really do appreciate Anthony Starr's performance though in season 4. I think a lot of people missed that. His performance in season 4 was like, man, award worthy. It was unbelievable.
Lights out. Yeah.
Bro, he was unbelievable. But I get where the fan is coming from. They would have really got that payoff going 2 seasons, going another season of not actually going 2 seasons, going to 3rd season, going all of the 2nd season and the 3rd season without seeing Chayton, and then him coming back for the final season and Hood getting, that would have been a huge, I think that would have been way bigger a payoff than what they actually materialized in season 4. And it makes sense to me, but that performance of Hoods in season 4 was really, really good, man. And then Job, I mean, it was just you gotta appreciate good performance across the board.
So when that series first came out, we were at the station, and we turned it on. We start watching it. Of course, you see all the beautiful women.
Oh yeah,
his story going on. And then when you came on, we're like, who the heck is this beast? Where's this dude come from? We've never seen you anywhere else.
Right.
And after that role, we're like, that dude's badass, man. We all the dudes at the firehouse was like, yeah, we were talking shit about you. and your role in that show, and just that whole show. We love that whole show. A bunch of meathead knuckle dragger firefighters watching that show. It fit in perfectly with us. But yeah, that was
You
you did a great
know,
job in that show.
it's crazy, man. There are really no stakes in this business, man. When you're in this business, you got to really understand that. Otherwise, it would frustrate you to no end. I mean, there are no scales, bro. I mean, you'd like to think it's a meritocracy, but it really isn't.
Yeah.
It really isn't. I mean,
not much is anymore.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Cinemax hasn't called me back ever.
Yeah.
Ever, bro. Ever. I mean, I get it that I'm not not an everyday type of guy, you know, but ever?
Yeah,
It's
you made them a lot of money.
Yeah, dude. I mean, ever? Like ever. Like, holla at your boy, man. I mean, and I mean, I'm not even I don't, you know, I shudder to think that I've even had an audition for Cinemax, the Cinemax product.
Yeah.
I've not even had an audition for a Cinemax product. I mean, they won't even. It's just, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just hard to believe that I would not even get a look.
Yeah.
For another antagonist. I don't know, but again, there are no scales, bro. There's no, you know, you do this and then you get this, then you do this and you get that. No, it doesn't work like that, bro. If you think of that, if you think it's supposed to work like that, you're gonna drive yourself nuts. Drive yourself absolutely crazy.
Let's go back to that role we talked before, and that role was kind of hard for you to get into, right? When we talked about it, talk about having to come out of that role and becoming a normal father again.
Bro, it took me a minute, man. It took me a minute because I had very little in common with Chayton. So I couldn't call on my own experiences in life and then relate that to the character. So I had to do something that, you know, I don't typically have to do, which is do a deep dive and really jump in and just be Chayton all the time, which wasn't such a good idea. But it worked. You know, it really did work. But I could have gotten into real trouble. You know what I mean?
That's got to be a dark place.
Yeah, bro. I could have gotten into real trouble. I was looking at people completely differently. You know what I mean? I would be looking at, you know, just a person saying good morning to me. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm at a hotel and some lady at the counter is saying good morning. And I'm like, you know, I'm thinking of the damage I could do to her and in this hotel and how I could escape.
Yeah.
And what I would, you know what I mean? I'm walking around with these tattoos on. Okay. Right? And I don't have the hairpiece on because I had to shave my head in order for them to glue the wig on so that it would look right. You know, the first few times I had a mohawk and it just didn't look right. Attaching it to my hair. So they say, "Do you mind shaving?" I was like, "Man, shave my head. I don't care. It's hair, man. It'll grow back." And so yeah, I was walking around with them tattoos, man. I was walking around with Chayton on me all the time. So people were looking at me different automatically. And so I'm carrying this guy with me and I'm just diving in with both feet because, I mean, the backstory that we built for him, he killed, you know, hundreds of people, bro. Yeah. He's psychotic. This guy is, he's walking around. He's a walking body, bro. He's bodied people. He's got bodies buried everywhere, man. And so coming out of him, I used to play these I had my, you know, used to have like a screensaver, right? And on my computer, and I would take all my family pictures and put it on my screensaver and it would play back. And it would, you know, it would flick over to another picture. It'd be a picture of somebody that's in my family reminding me. I would just look at it for like hours, bro. Yeah. I was sitting there looking at it for hours. And it took me, you know, a few weeks, bro, just constantly looking at that thing and just really remembering, oh, yeah, this is who I am.
Yeah.
So I don't know about anybody else. I have a character graveyard. So I take a piece of the character from wardrobe, or from props, or from something, a piece, a button off of a jacket, or a strip off of off of a costume, or a piece of the hair.
Yeah.
And I'll bury that in a character graveyard, so that once that character's buried, never again will I go back and use that character to build another character.
Okay.
That's cool.
And it's a mind game. It's a head game, bro. This whole acting thing is how truthful can you be under these make-believe circumstances?
Yeah.
How real can you be under these circumstances that aren't real?
Right.
And so I think a lot of people think, oh, it's just acting. You know what I mean? No. You dig into a lot of places that are very revealing, very kind of like, once you open up that can you get all the worms back in?
Yeah. Do you think that was your favorite role in Banshee?
No.
Okay.
No.
What was your favorite?
Well, my favorite role is always the current role or the last one that I did.
Okay. There you go. Yeah.
My favorite role right now is Balthazar in Journey to Bethlehem. That was the last role that I did. And that came out this Christmas. And hopefully it'll become a yearly thing where people watch Journey to Bethlehem every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Netflix if you guys want to check it out.
Yeah, we watched it during Christmas.
Okay. Yeah, it's about the birth of Christ and the nativity and all of that. And I got to play one of the wise men. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What of all the sorry, you jump in first.
Tell us about huge hit right now, Yellowstone. Tell us about your role in Yellowstone and the mind of the writer.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, Yellowstone is interesting because when I got the call, I had auditioned for the brother that got killed in that one episode. He's the brother, he dies, and Taylor just came right out and said, "Hey man, I really like you. I really like your presence. I don't want you for this role because I want to use you in a larger scope." I was like, "Hey man, that's fine with me." So called me a couple of weeks later to read for Danny Trudeau. I read for Danny. He likes it. I on a plane to Utah, and we're shooting. And so we're shooting, and when you work with a guy like Taylor, who is an actor's director, right? He's so collaborative that he expects you to come to the party with an idea, several ideas. So, and if you come and you deliver, you better make sure it's your best, right? Because he's ready to move to the next beat.
Yeah.
If he's got what he wants, he's ready to move there. You got to beg him for another take, right? That's who Taylor is. Taylor is once he's got his vision, once he's got in his head how it's going to play out, he has very few setups. So he has one setup because he's already played it out, and he's got a storyboard in his head, and he's already played it out how he's going to reveal the story. So he doesn't need 15 setups to get every bit of coverage so that he can decide in the editing room. No, he's already decided.
Yeah.
So I'm at his house. We're watching the Dallas game, and he's talking to me about Danny being the Tonto to Casey's Long Ranger. I got no problem with it.
Yeah.
Right? We started to get excited. We started going down storylines. We started going down ideas about, Casey getting into trouble, Danny getting him out of trouble. You know what I mean? These kinds of things. I'm like, man, that's cool. I like that. I like this. I think Danny would be more like ABC. He's like, no. He's more like, elemental P. I'm like, oh, I didn't think of that. And so we're really just bouncing off of each other. He gets pulled over to 1883 and they write my character off into the sunset. So it's like Hollywood, man.
Yeah.
No scales, baby. No scales. No scales at all.
Yeah, because I even remember my wife and I are big fans of the Yellowstone franchise, all the shows. And after the episode that you were in, there were times that it just sometimes storylines, get severely broken. Sometimes they get slightly broken. And this was one of those that was kind of slightly broken where my wife and I thought, what happened to that guy? It seemed like there was supposed to be more, but it just, it didn't make a lot of sense.
Dude, you can see the potential.
Yeah.
Because while they're digging the hole in the pit, and Danny says to Casey, they didn't rape her. If they had, we'd have been hanging his family from the rafters. This is deep enough. And he's in the pit. He says, I guess you're becoming a Lone Ranger around here. I guess now all you need is a Tonto, but you ain't going to find one of them around here.
Yeah.
Right? So he's setting up the idea to become this guy's Tonto. He's setting it up. But the writers didn't want to go down that track, man. I guess it would have been politically incorrect, Tonto. Yeah. But Danny had already preempted it by saying, there ain't no Tontos here. You know what I mean? There ain't no Tontos here. Now I'll get you out of trouble. He could have been that reluctant Tonto and kept hearkening back to it. How many times I got to be Tonto for you, man? How many times I got to pull you out of the ditch? How many more times am I going to have to be your tow truck? You know what I mean? Taylor and I talked about it, bro, and he was gung ho. He was all about it because it would have put the nose in a lot of people's. It'll tip the nose to a lot of people. A lot of people don't like that sort of thing, but man, that's life, man.
Yeah,
it's actual life. People need help.
Right.
Casey in real life can't get himself out of every jam.
Yeah, nobody can.
Nobody can.
Has Taylor reached out to you to get you in I know he's always got stuff going on. He hasn't reached out to you for anything else?
Nah, dude. I auditioned for Tulsa, but I don't know, bro. No skills, baby.
Yeah.
No skills. I auditioned for Tulsa, and I thought, I really thought I put some good material down, but it's just one of those things, man, where, you almost have to be undeniably the character that they're looking for.
Of all the roles you've done, whether it's stage or TV or film, what was the toughest on you? Like whether it was the toughest production, toughest shoot, whether it was physically or mentally or the atmosphere on set or whatever. What was the toughest you've ever had to go through?
Boar Tusk.
Okay.
Boar Tusk in Bone Tomahawk.
Bone Tomahawk. I remember when I first saw that movie. That movie is it's hard to watch.
Dude, do you remember the troglodyte that cut the kid in half?
Yeah.
That's Boar Tusk.
Yeah, that movie is hard to watch.
Bro, it was even harder to perform.
I can only imagine. That was
the hardest thing I ever done in my life, bro. The hardest thing I ever done in my life. I had wet clay pottery paint all over my body, man, head to toe.
Oh.
At night in the California desert, freezing.
Yeah.
Not only was it wet, it was drying and chipping, so the chips would pinch into my skin.
Oh.
I was itching, and they was have to constantly reapply it because it was chipping off. So they were reapplying it, bro. It was the hardest thing. It's harder than 3-a-day practice, man.
Oh.
It's harder than 3-a-day practice. Putting on them same dirty pants and with pads and wet pads. It was harder than that, bro. It is the hardest thing I've ever done. Ever.
How long was that shoot?
All night.
Oh, was it like weeks or months?
No, I shot for 10 days.
10 days, okay. Man.
Bro, it was the hardest thing I have ever done.
Well, and it's got to be a different kind of experience where, you know, in that film, you can't rely on dialogue. You had to rely on physicality and
absolutely
and all that. That's got to be a whole different kind of performance.
But the mental gymnastics, bro, of being in such discomfort,
yeah,
and trying to remain stoic while you're completely freezing.
Yeah,
your jaw is jaw is moving, and
yeah.
And it's tight, bro. It's tight on your face, and you're shaking.
Yeah.
Bro, it was the hardest thing I ever done, man. And Kurt, coolest dude ever, bro. Coolest dude ever.
Yeah, he seems like
I could have a beer with Kurt right now, man.
He said interviews I've seen him in, Kurt Russell seems like one of the most down to earth, regular people.
Yeah, dude, you want to sit down and have a beer with?
I could have a beer with Kurt Russell right now, and it would be like, man, how you been? Kurt, I've been all right, man. Been hanging in there, man. Yeah, that's good, man. That's good, man. And go every time we had a break, he said, "Come on, Geno, let's go have a smoke. Let's go."
Yeah.
I'd be in my little blanket, itching like a bug, right? I'm walking through there itching, you know, and I'll go right there, and you know, we'd be outside. He'd have a cigarette, and I'd have a cigarillo, and we just chop it up, man. Good dude, man.
Yeah.
Good dude. He's a guy's guy. You know what I mean?
Well, that kind of leads me to a question. What's the cigar community like, or the cigar scene like in amongst actors, you know, and it could be cast, it could be crew, it could even be part of the theater community. What is there any kind of decent cigar scene among those people?
You know, it's a funny thing, man, because you're either in the group of people who are like what I call bona fide cigar smokers, right? Guys who have their go-to stick, guys that can look at your cigar and say, okay, that's a box press Maduro. A guy that knows the difference between a natural and a Habano.
Yeah.
Guys that understand what a Robusto is or a Petite Corona. They understand cigars, you know what I mean? They understand the language. Then you got showboats, right? They just want to go in and get, you know, asylum and look like big. They want to get these giant, you know, 70 by 7 cigars and sit around and be Big Willie, you know?
Yeah.
And you can spot them a mile away. And Hollywood is very much like that. Guys that are just getting into it because they met a producer that really is into cigars.
Yeah.
And the producer's really like clowning them because they really don't know what they're doing. And it's just, it's ridiculous. But
yeah.
A lot of guys really do. It's really two groups: the guys that really know what they're doing, and the guys that really don't know what they're doing. But they want to be part of a group, part of a network, part of a way to network and really sort of rub shoulders with, you know, the other guys.
Yeah.
But it's really strange because when I go to Cigar Lounge and there are very well known producers, very well known actors, we don't really talk about that.
Yeah.
We don't really talk about work. We talk about sports, you know, what you're smoking, you know, what's your go-to, you know, did you see Rocky Patel at that last interview? You know what I mean? We talk about stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
we don't really talk about work, unless, yeah, dude, no, we don't really talk about work like that.
That's good though. You gotta take a break from talking about.
Yeah, dude. I mean, at the end of the day, when I always say that, we could solve the world's ills over a good scotch and a cigar,
Mm-hmm.
because all the bullshit is gonna be pushed aside, and we're gonna sit down. We're gonna talk about what you think, and I'm gonna listen, and then I'm gonna talk about what I think, and you're gonna listen.
Yeah.
Now, we may not agree in the end, but we will have at least heard each other out.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And right now in the world, bro, the world needs a good cigar and a good scotch, bro.
Yeah.
Just sit down, have a cigar, man. Smoke and talk about it. Be a man.
So I want to rewind a little bit because you piqued my curiosity. Who'd you play football for in college and what position?
I played for Western Carolina University, and I was a defensive end.
Right.
Oddly enough, I argue, and it can be debated, that I was the best tight end on our team that never played tight end.
Oh, all right.
I believe that to this day, and I don't care what anybody says. And for whatever reason, no coach would ever let me even try out for tight end. But I was better at catching. I was better at blocking. I was better at running after with the ball because I was a contact fanatic. None of the tight ends that I played with had that tenacity.
Yeah.
But back when I played, none of the tight ends were just big small offensive linemen that could run and could catch in traffic. Like, really? That's it? So I always felt like I was the best tight end on our team that never got a chance to play. And, as crazy as it sounds, football has always been a copycat sort of sport, right?
Yeah.
So if you got a kid that's really fast and kind of looks like a NFL player that you can immediately point to, like he looks like Hunt, or they're going to make a wide receiver because he looks like Hunt. Or you got a curly-haired guy who has a white mother and a black father. Oh, and he's kind of tall and he's kind of elusive and he can throw different angles. Kind of looks like Mahomes.
Yeah.
Then he's going to be quarterback.
Okay.
Whether he's good or not, but he's going to be quarterback because he looks like Mahomes. It's a weird thing, bro. But because I didn't look like a tight end, I didn't look like Dwight Clark.
Yeah.
We had every team I played for, except in college, we had a Dwight Clark lookalike playing tight end. And every team I played against had a Dwight Clark lookalike playing tight end. That's not an accident, bro. That's not an accident. That's copycat.
Yeah.
It's like, how stupid is this? This is the dumbest thing ever, bro. I could go on, man.
One of our viewers, David, wants to know when were you there? What years did you play at college football?
I played 85 through 88.
David might have been there.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 85 through 88.
So I got a question for you guys here in the studio.
Yeah.
What's that, Matt?
Is it time?
Time for what?
I think it's time.
Is it?
It's time.
Wait, are we supposed to do something right now?
Do you think it's time, Justin?
Let me check my. Wait, I forgot my watch at home again. Sorry.
All right, guys, it is now time for this week's Numero de los Muertos. And as always, Numero de los Muertos brought to us by our friends at Smoke Inn.
Honesty agree with the goat to tell you about Smoke Inn's Cigar of the Month Club. Every month, I personally handpick 5 premium cigars. Another great feature is our Double Down Club. With a simple check mark, you can get double this great selections every month and save $10. Every month, there's a special discount code where if you like any of the selections, you can get them at a special discounted rate for our Cigar of the Month Club members. We've made it super simple. All you gotta do is log into your account. There's a little green button there. If it's green, you're active. You want to take a break, going out of town, simply hit the button and you'll deactivate your membership. We get the stuff out on the 28th of every month. Our membership bills on the 28th, and we get every member's package out on the 28th if it's a shipping day. All delivered to your door for $34.95. 5 great reasons on what makes Smoking Cigar of the Month Club the best club out there. Check it out. Peace.
All right. Numero de los Muertos, episode 243. So Geno, this is the segment on the show. This is a weird segment, but it tends to be everybody's favorite segment of the week. It's basically what we're looking for is I'm going to give a number of how many people died in this very strange, very weird way. And you, along with our viewers and Justin and Raul here in the studio, you guys are going to play 20 questions-ish, 20-ish questions, trying to guess what the weird cause of death was for this. It could be an individual. It could be multiple people. Yeah, it's a weird segment, but everybody loves it.
Everybody loves it. You'll love it.
Yeah. So the number this week is 1.
1?
I know. Once again, the number is 1. I've been reverting back to the ones.
So now we just start asking questions. Was it on land?
Well, wait. What?
You said 1.
Oh, 1. That's it.
1.
Okay.
1. Now it's possible that this has happened like another time, but I have to doubt it. This one's so weird that I have to doubt anybody else died this way.
Land or sea for David Floyd?
This took place on land.
On land. Okay.
You look confused, Geno. You got this?
Yeah, I think I got it.
Yeah.
So
it's weird.
A weird way that somebody died.
Yeah.
We once had a guy trip over his own beard, fall down the stairs, and cack himself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was alcohol involved from Jesus Santos?
Yes, alcohol was involved. So yeah, it was definitely a hold my beer moment.
Was it a workplace accident?
Not a workplace accident.
Okay.
Was he at a social gathering?
It was a social gathering. It said had been drinking with friends.
Okay. Did he post it on social media?
No, this was in 1995 before the days of social media.
1995. Was this in the U.S. or what part of the country in?
This was in Europe.
Europe.
It's as far as I'm going to narrow it down for now.
Okay.
Was he at a soccer game?
No.
Were vehicles involved from Jesus?
Vehicles were not involved.
Was a funnel involved?
A funnel?
Yeah.
No.
Like a beer bong?
Yeah, they don't do that. They don't do that in Europe.
No, the alcohol was only a contributing factor to the bad decisions, not directly to the death.
Okay.
How about polar bear wrestling from David Floyd?
Not polar bear wrestling, but I like that.
Drowned?
Was wrestling involved?
Wrestling was not involved.
Okay.
Oh.
And no polar bears.
A polar bear was
no
involved?
polar bears.
Oh.
Drowned in a rain puddle?
Was he swimming?
No, this was on land.
Oh,
Water was not involved.
And were animals involved?
No animals.
No animals. Okay.
No
Was it
driving.
Driving?
Was
Driving?
he driving?
Nope, no vehicles.
Okay.
Was it a dare?
It wasn't really a dare. It was drunk guys trying to one up each other.
Okay.
So
there was a stunt involved.
Yeah, multiple stunts that one ended up being their final stunt.
Fire?
So were they drunk? Were they drunk parkouring?
It's a good one. We should get that. We should need to find somebody that died for parkour.
David Floyd says our firearm. No firearms, but implements of some. I'll say I won't say weapons necessarily, but I guess they could in some circumstances be considered weapons, but they're more tools and or implements.
And not a landmine hopscotch.
Landmine hopscotch. No, I got to try that one of these days.
Guys,
you're only going to try it once.
Only once.
Guy tries to jump across a roof.
No,
that would be kind of parkour.
That would be fireworks.
No fireworks.
Okay. So they're sitting around drinking. Said, "Hold my beer," and what did they do?
David Floyd says work tools. Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Okay. Not work related. Okay.
Sort of work tools. The gentleman who died was a farmer.
Farmer.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
He tried to outrun a freaking combine.
No, because that's a vehicle.
Okay.
Oh, a hammer?
No, not a. All right, so here it is. In 1995,
we failed.
Polish farmer Krzysztof Azaninski cut off his own head. So here's how it went down. Azaninski, 30 years old, had been drinking with friends when it was suggested they strip naked and play some, quote, men's games. Now, stay with me here. Stay with me.
Geno's like, what did I just get into?
Initially,
oh, hell no.
Initially, they hit each other. Now, remember, this was in Poland. So remember, initially,
dumb Polacks came from, or what?
Initially, they hit each other over the head with frozen turnips.
What?
But when one man took it to the next level by cutting off the end of his own foot with a chainsaw, Azaninski wanted to one-up his comrade even further. Azaninski grabbed the saw and shouting, "Watch this!"
Hold my beer.
Swung at his own head and chopped it off.
What the? He didn't want to be here.
Buddy, you win.
He didn't want to be here.
And this is a quote from one of the guys he was doing this moronic game with. The guy said, "It's funny," said one companion. "When he was young, he put on his sister's underwear, but he died like a man."
That's some good vodka.
Oh,
here's the real crux of the story. Maybe one of his friends cut his head off, and the other friend vouched for him.
There you go. That could be it. That could be
because he can't speak for himself. And that's like shooting yourself in the back of the head with a shotgun. How do you cut your own head off with a? How do you even do that? How do you do that?
I don't know. I don't know.
We call that shotgun one the Cheney.
Bro. Oh no, man! I'm investigating that one.
Yeah, it is definitely.
I'm investigating that one.
It is definitely suspect. Yeah.
I'm looking at the fingerprints on the chainsaw because now it was in his other guy's hands while he was cutting his finger or whatever.
Yeah, right.
His foot.
So now they got sets of fingerprints on here.
Yeah.
And now, so how do we know that his fingerprints were the last ones on there?
That's the mystery of Numero de los Muertos. Yep. And you just never know.
Because what really happened is he probably cut his buddy's foot off and he said, "All right, fucker, I'm gonna get you back."
That's it. That is right there.
Yep.
Who's gonna cut their foot off, bro?
Ooh.
There's no amount of alcohol in the world to get me to cut off any part of my body with a chainsaw.
Solid shit right there.
Yeah, that's.
Bro, if I've had too much to drink, I'm not cutting my fingernails.
That's right.
I'm not cutting nothing.
Right.
That's right.
I got the sense to know not to use sharp tools when I'm damn inebriated.
That's right. That's right.
Come on, man.
So that was this week's Numero de los Muertos. All right, let's jump into the lightning round, brought to us by J.C. Newman Cigar Company, America's oldest family-owned premium cigar maker, creators of the popular Brick House, Perla Del Mar, Diamond Crown, and The American. J.C. Newman Cigar Company operates out of their 113-year-old El Reloj cigar factory in historic Cigar City, Tampa, Florida. For more information on their cigars or visitor experience, please visit jcnewman.com. All right, Geno. If you were about to get into a fight, what would your soundtrack music be?
Man, Rocky 1.
I like it. Classic. Absolute classic. That's a great one. You want to do?
I don't think he does it, but I'm asking.
Let's try.
Right.
We'll see. If not, we'll get another one.
Geno, what is the most overrated fast food and the most underrated fast food? And I said I don't think you eat fast food, but we're gonna try it.
When I did eat fast food, I would say that the most overrated would be In-N-Out.
We hear that a lot.
A lot.
In-N-Out.
And what's the most underrated?
Chipotle.
Okay. You haven't eaten at Chipotle recently, have you?
No.
Yeah. They've gone downhill.
Have they?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. They've gone downhill in the last few years since COVID. It's kind of
the only place I've ever had Chipotle was in California.
Oh, it might be better there. I don't know.
Yeah, Chipotle in California was pretty good back when I was eating, man.
Okay. All right.
Quick question. Are you a full-time vegan now?
No. I've had to stop, man, because my blood work was going all kinds of haywire. And so I did my blood test and found out I was O positive and I needed to eat meat and vegetables. So
okay.
Here we are.
All right, Justin, hit him with our favorite question.
All right, Geno. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, bro.
All right. The zombies are coming. You get to pick 3 people from the cigar industry or for your industry, for the movie industry, to be part of your zombie apocalypse survival squad. Who do you pick and why?
I got 3 people.
3 people. Yep.
But that's 4 total.
Correct.
Yeah, with you, yeah.
Well, I mean, you might count as 2 since you're a big guy and all that. I'll be scared of you.
I would definitely pick my wife.
Okay. Good choice.
And I would pick my son. There you go. My son. And one other would probably be my best friend, Vance Locklear.
Okay.
Vance Locklear is very handy. Very handy. Yeah, he's very handy. I think me and him could train up my son, and we could protect my wife and our little compound.
I love it.
Please.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do the reveal for Spirit of Mystery this evening. And so, like I said before, tequila is not, usually my jam, but this is a nice, spirit to just sit here and sip. It's not super complex, but it's got good flavor, good sweetness, not super strong, and the cigar still shines. Mm-hmm. I could still taste the cigar. So I dig it.
Would it help you knowing that it was rested in whiskey barrels?
Wow.
That might be where that kind of sweetness is coming from. Because the more I drink it, there is almost like vanilla-ish sweetness. So what do we got here?
So the person that made this tequila has his hands in freaking everything now.
Oh yeah,
everything. It's the Rocks tequila.
Oh, is it really?
Terramana.
Oh, Terramana Añejo small batch tequila. Whiskey barrel rested.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Honestly, I gotta say it's good. It's it's a nice, got sweetness, got a little bit of citrusy notes.
Yeah.
So And it goes, like I said, it goes. This is one of the things for me is it goes well with the cigar. It doesn't overpower the cigar, because sometimes you get a spirit that's just way too heavy. But this one is not. This one goes nicely with the cigar. So there we go. This week's Spirit of Mystery. Let's jump into notable smokables. Brought to us by Don Doroteo Cigars, a brand with both purpose and passion dedicated to creating change from within. By developing their own land, they are able to own the entire process throughout the life cycle of the plant. They methodically carry out each step, ensuring that the final product is of the finest quality. The new Salt of the Earth lines, Piedra Viva and Piedra Angular, are available now at Don Doroteo retail partners. Visit dondoroteo.com to learn more. All right. So, Geno, each week on the show, all of us name a cigar that we smoked recently that was notable to us. Now, this could be a cigar that's been on the market for decades that we smoked for the first time in a long time. Or it could be a cigar that's brand new to the market that we smoked for the first time ever. Is there something you smoked recently that really stood out to you?
Man, I got to say the Tabernacle, the David.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I forgot how good a smoke that was, man.
Absolutely.
That Tabernacle is really it. I had a box of them one time, and I smoked through them so fast. And then it'd been a while, and then I grabbed another one when I saw it in my lounge, and I was like, "Oh yeah, man, Tabernacle David."
Yeah,
it's a good one.
Absolutely. Raul, what about you?
Trying to figure out how to say this. La Robuba by My Father's. I think it's a few years old.
That's really old.
Yeah. We were in Virginia, and one of the guys handed it to me.
Nice. Yeah, that might be pushing the 10-year mark. Actually, that's because I think they still make that blend, but that band is different. That's the old band on that picture you're showing there. Nice. What did you think of it?
I thought it was phenomenal.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Really good.
Justin, what about you? What's your notable this week?
Well, our little fellow brother here, our big fellow brother here from the fire department, he had a couple people over at his house for a little shindig on Friday. So, I actually got off work by like 6 o'clock from the garden,
Gotta love it.
I had to head over to Raul's, had a little get together, and had no cigars on me. I was like, Raul, I'm coming straight from work.
I might have one or two.
Yeah, Raul might have one or two laying around for you. Yeah.
You bust out a Roma Craft, Cro-Magnon, Timeline, Pennsylvania Broadleaf pre-release.
Very nice. Very nice.
I don't think it's out yet, but that thing was freaking delicious after a long, hard day.
Very cool.
Thank you, Raul.
I love it. So mine was, I was kind of in this place where I needed something really kind of over the top, and I needed to just sit with my thoughts and some instrumental music playing in the background and just close my eyes and smell the cigar and just kind of disappear. And the Atabey, the original Atabey in that Brujos size, which is basically a Robusto, they call it Brujos. It's not an everyday cigar. It's too damn expensive to be an everyday cigar, but it's really, really, really good. And yeah, I just lit that thing up and just kind of faded away and just with my thoughts. And it was a good time to just kind of unplug, So really, really nice cigar. So let's jump into coming attractions, let you guys know what's coming up in the next few weeks on How About That Cigar Live. And coming attractions brought to us by Hoagland Insurance. They are excited to serve and educate any new customers and give existing customers a refresher. Whether it's a business policy, auto insurance, home policy, or life insurance, if you're currently insured or just looking for a quote, Tony Hoagland and his team would love to create a personal price plan just for you. Mention How About That Cigar when you make your first appointment, and Tony will have a free cigar just for you. For more information, please call 763-421-4900 or visit ChamplinInsurance.com.
One thing.
Yeah.
What the hell do you mean the Jew's running low, Tony? Put that up. What the hell is he talking about? What do you mean that, you little prick?
Tony, we don't know what you're talking about. We need clarification. All right. Next week on May 13th, we have Ryan Mills on the show. Ryan is he's a whiskey guru and really a spirits guru. He does a lot of content on social media, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, teaching people about whiskey. He knows a lot about cigars as well. So we're going to talk about pairings and different types of whiskeys and different types of spirits and things like that, and how we as people who enjoy spirits and cigars can get the most out of both of those wonderful hobbies.
Needless to say, I'm going to tag off and we're going to have a special guest in studio.
Yeah, so Raul doesn't drink, but our good friend Andrew Tolsman is going to tag in and be co-host next week because Andrew is also an enjoyer of fine spirits and cigars. So
I'm just a supplier.
Yeah, Raul has more bourbon than any of us, even though he doesn't drink it. But and then coming up on May 20th, Peter James cigars, or Peter James Co. They make fabulous leather accessories for cigar smokers, and now have a new line of cigars coming out under the Luciano brand. So he's going to be on the show on May 20th. So stay tuned for that. Geno, thanks for being on the show, brother. If you would please give our viewers and listeners an idea, where is the best place for them to keep up with everything you have going on?
You can find me on Instagram, on X, on Facebook, all under my name, Geno Segers.
Fantastic, brother.
And then just one quick thing, David Floyd wanted to know, any upcoming projects to watch you be in anytime soon?
Oh,
Geno?
yeah.
None that I can talk about, but it's going to be very, very eventful. There's one that I can talk about, but he's probably not going to want to see it. It's a animated feature where I voice several characters, but if he's got young kids, they're going to love it. It's called Thelma the Unicorn, and it's on Netflix.
Nice.
Oh.
There's also another Netflix project, again, that I can't speak about right now, but it is going to be super, super, super big. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that coming out mid-November.
Nice.
Love it. That's fantastic. Brother, thank you so much. We had a blast talking to you tonight, man. Thank you so much.
Pleasure was mine, fellas.
Thanks, brother.
All right, viewers and listeners, guys, thank you so much for being the best part of How About That Cigar Live. We're so appreciate you guys watching on Facebook and YouTube and X and Instagram
and TikTok
and all the places that you watch us. Be sure to continue watching us, subscribe, click on all of the buttons, all the subscribe buttons, the like buttons. You'll continue to see our PCA trade show coverage come out. Everything is out there on the website if you want to watch it. And I'm slowly starting to put that stuff up on TikTok as well. So if you guys have any questions, you can email us on the website, howaboutthatcigar.com. Be sure to follow us on all your favorite social media platforms at HBT Cigar. And of course, until we see you guys next time, burn cigars,
not bridges.
Thanks, guys. Any comments, opinions, viewpoints, or statements presented or uttered by guests on the HBTC podcast, HBTC live video streams, and all other media from HBT Media LLC are solely those of the individual and do not necessarily represent the opinions or viewpoints of How About That Cigar or its parent company, HBT Media LLC, any of our advertising partners, or the premium cigar industry. The primary purpose of How About That Cigar is to entertain and to encourage activity and growth within the community of people who enjoy or want to learn about the enjoyment of